The town was silent, forgotten. Dust lay thick on the empty streets. Weeds cracked the sidewalks. Only the old house on the hill seemed alive. Its windows were like watchful eyes. The house stood alone, dark against the grey sky. Paint peeled from its walls like scabs. The front porch sagged, threatening to collapse. Legends whispered about the house, stories of a family that vanished, mysteries never solved. "I dare you to go inside." Max grinned, his eyes gleaming. It was Halloween night, the perfect night to explore a haunted house. My heart pounded. We all felt the pull of the house, the need to know its secrets. The rusty gate creaked open with a groan. Each step up the crumbling path sent shivers down my spine. The air grew colder as we neared the house. A cold, damp breeze whispered through the dead leaves. The front door hung open, inviting us in. Darkness waited inside. We hesitated, our breath misting in the cold air. Then Max, always the bravest, stepped across the threshold. We followed, our fear battling our curiosity. The air inside was heavy and still. Dust motes danced in the faint light filtering through grimy windows. Cobwebs clung to every surface, thick and grey. The house creaked around us, whispering secrets we couldn't understand. We explored each room, our hearts thumping with every creak of the floorboards. Each room was empty, yet filled with an unseen presence. Shadows seemed to move in the corners of our vision. Whispers brushed against our ears. In the dining room, a cold breeze sent shivers down my spine. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of decay. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. Something was watching us. I could feel its icy breath on my skin. Upstairs, the hallway stretched before us, dark and endless. A faint humming echoed from the end of the hall. It sounded like a woman's voice, filled with sadness and longing. It drew us forward, deeper into the house's embrace. Sarah, her eyes wide with fear and fascination, followed the sound. It led her to a dusty old bedroom at the end of the hall. Inside, a tarnished mirror hung on the wall, its surface cloudy with age. The humming seemed to emanate from the mirror itself. Sarah leaned closer, her breath fogging the glass. As she stared into the mirror's depths, a figure began to form. It was a young woman, her face pale and beautiful, her eyes filled with a deep, unending sadness. She wore a long white gown that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. The woman in the mirror opened her mouth as if to speak, but no sound came out. Her eyes locked onto Sarah's, their depths filled with a strange, desperate plea. Sarah tried to pull back, but it was too late. The mirror seemed to reach out and grab her, dragging her closer. Suddenly the bedroom door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Sarah jumped back, her heart pounding in her chest. She raced to the door and rattled the handle, but it wouldn't budge. The door was locked, trapping her inside with the ghostly figure in the mirror. The humming grew louder, filling the room with its mournful melody. Sarah felt a cold hand brush against her cheek, sending shivers down her spine. She whirled around, but there was no one there. She was alone in the room with the ghost. We heard Sarah's screams and pounded on the door. It flew open as if pushed by an unseen hand. There stood Sarah, her eyes wide with terror, her face pale as death. She stumbled out of the room, clutching at her chest. We rushed her out of the house back into the night. As we ran, we could hear the humming again, following us, echoing through the empty streets of the forgotten town. It seemed to cling to Sarah, wrapping around her like a shroud. We never went back to the house, but sometimes late at night we could hear that haunting melody. It seemed to drift on the wind, a chilling reminder of the secrets hidden within the old house on the hill. And Sarah, sometimes, when she thought no one was watching, she would hum along.